We were all at once terribly alone, and alone we must see it through. Strange how complicated we can make things just to avoid showing what we feel. Keep things at arm's length. If you let anything come too near, you want to hold on to it, and there is nothing a man can hold on to. Life is a disease, brother, and death begins already at birth. Every breath, every heartbeat is a moment of dying, a little shove toward the end. We have so much to say, and we shall never say it. I wandered through the streets thinking of all the things I might have said and might have done had I been other than I was. Why does a man live? In order to think about it. Why do they never tell us that you are poor devils like us, that your mothers are just as anxious as ours, and that we have the same fear of death, and the same dying, and the same agony? Forgive me, comrade, how could you be my enemy? It was a melancholy secret that reality can arouse desires but never satisfy them. I want to think, and at the same time it's the last thing in the world I want to do. With blinded eyes, I stared at the sky, this gray, endless sky of a crazy god who had made life and death for his amusement. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. It's no shame to be born stupid, only to die stupid. Good or ill, life is life. You only realize that when you have to risk it. I've not much interest in the important things of life, only in the beautiful things. Just this lilac here makes me happy. It's not much. You begin by thinking there is something extraordinary about it, but you'll find out, when you've been out in the world a while longer, unhappiness is the commonest thing there is. Then when I am sad and understand nothing anymore, I say to myself that it's better to die while you still want to live than die and want to die. One always expects something else. Regret is the most useless thing in the world. One cannot recall anything, and one cannot rectify anything. Otherwise, we would all be saints. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. No one could ever become stranger than the person you once loved. We have our dreams because without them, we could not bear the truth. The more primitive a man is, the better he believes himself to be. I stand there and wonder whether, when I am 20, I shall have experienced the bewildering emotions of love. There is no guilt in feelings, ever. Don't ask about the consequences if you want to do something, otherwise you'll never do it. Serenity, the calm daughter of tolerance. My rage outweighs my shame, as always happens when one is really ashamed and knows he ought to be. A man is courageous only when he is also afraid. One is never too young, only always too old. One is sad when one thinks about life, cynical when one sees what people make of it. People tend to ask too many questions in love, and once you begin really wanting to know the answers, love is on its way out. We are little flames poorly sheltered by frail walls against the storm of dissolution and madness, in which we flicker and sometimes almost go out. Why? The question on which all logic, all philosophy, all science has shattered up to now. We live in rooms too much, I say. We think too much in rooms, we make love too much in rooms, we despair too much in rooms. Can you despair in the open? Our knowledge of life is limited to death. What will happen afterwards, and what can possibly become of us? How beautiful it is when one lives completely and not with just a part of oneself, when one is full to the rim and calm because there is nothing more to get in. There's something good about unpleasant memories. They make you think you're happy. when a moment before you were convinced of the contrary. A woman who is desired by someone else, even a love-starved coffin maker, immediately becomes more precious than before. Man, as it happens, lives by relative rather than absolute values. I wanted to say something, but I could not. It is difficult to find words when one really has something to say, and even if one knows the right words, then one is ashamed to say them. All these words belong to other, earlier centuries. Our time is not the words yet to express its feelings. We can only be offhand. Anything else rings false. A man has to have something he can put faith in. My healthy blood was powerless to cure the sick blood of my beloved. That was beyond understanding, and so is death. We don't act like that because we are in good humor. We are in good humor because otherwise we should go to pieces. Those who consider themselves fair are particularly ruthless. We will make ourselves comfortable in sleep and eat as much as we can stuff into our bellies, and drink and smoke so that hours are not wasted. Life is short. How shabby the truth can become when one articulates it. You can deceive yourself with truth too. That's an even more dangerous dream. What matters in life is not what happens to you, but what you remember and how you remember it. Let me know which quote was your favorite in the comments, and subscribe for more inspirational quotes like these.